Gaming laptops don't get much bigger or bolder than the Acer Predator 21X. Coming equipped with a curved ultra-wide 21.5-inch screen, an overclockable quad-core processor, and two GTX 1080s in SLI, this thing is definitely no joke. But realistically, most of us don't have £9,000 to drop on a laptop, and if we did, we'd probably want something that was just a little bit more portable than something that comes in its own flight case. So what about the rest of us then, and the people that do want something that we can take with us from place to place, and are looking at gaming laptops and actually wondering whether they're worth buying in the first place? And to explore this topic a little bit further, you've got to understand that the main difference between a desktop computer and a laptop is all about power efficiency. How do we cram powerful hardware in such a small space without it overheating? And obviously when we're looking at gaming laptops in particular, we have things like powerful graphics cards that do output more heat, which is why when you look at something like Acer's Swift 7, it doesn't need any fans because it hasn't really got that much in it, and all the hardware that is inside is very power efficient. Whereas something like a big heavy gaming laptop like the 21X, it's so powerful and outputs so much heat, you need very good thermals to actually get rid of that, and as such you need a bigger chassis to allow for it. And when we're looking at gaming PCs in particular, they can be very small these days. You can get small ITX chassis, but nothing is as portable as a laptop that you can just stick in a bag and take with you wherever you want, and as long as you've got a mouse with you, you can play any game wherever you like. And even if you don't have a power source, you can just use the battery and literally play in any location. And this is the main thing. If you require or want portability, obviously a laptop is the only way you can go. Because sure, you can take a tiny desktop with you wherever you go, but you're still going to need a display and a keyboard and a mouse. And the same goes for if you develop an issue. You can normally say you have an issue with the laptop, and you send the laptop back to the manufacturer and they will either repair it or replace it. And this is a lot simpler than sort of working out what's wrong with your desktop computer and then sending the part off individually, having to wait ages and then obviously not really having anything in the meantime. When it comes to disadvantages, unfortunately, there are loads more. Main one really is the fact that you are paying more for less performance in a lot of cases, because you've got to pay for things like that screen, things like the battery, and you also have another problem, which remember earlier when I said that you have lower power components that produce less heat? Well, that does mean that you often have less FPS as well. And while it's definitely a lot better than it used to be, and a portable GTX 1070 is quite close in performance to the real deal GTX 1070 on the desktop, they're still not exactly neck and neck in terms of performance. Another thing that you probably won't really notice if you're browsing online is noise. And because you have these laptops in quite a small, cramped space, especially the gaming ones, they can get really loud. And you would just never know this until you've actually used the laptop and booted up a game. You have smaller fans than you're going to get on a desktop PC. They're going to whir up and make a lot more noise at a higher pitch, which is actually going to sort of cut through any game noise you have. And I assure you, on the bad sort of laptops, it can be really, really annoying and really off-putting. And unfortunately, this is just a side effect of having a load of power and a load of heat in such a small system, and it's definitely something you should be aware of if you are doing some serious shopping. The next question you need to ask yourself is, how long is this product actually going to last me? Because the thing is with desktop computers, you can recycle bits going forward, so you can use the same case, the same power supply, the same RAM, things like that, and you can upgrade the graphics card or CPU and get more performance. Whereas on the laptop side of things, this is significantly harder, and while it's quite easy to add in a new hard drive or to simply swap out the RAM for something that's got a higher capacity, it's just quite often not as easy, and in fact they quite often don't allow you to swap out core components. Things like graphics cards and processors in pretty much most cases just aren't upgradable at all, which means that if you decide to start playing games 3 years down the line that require a lot more horsepower, chances are you're not going to have it. Whereas if you have a desktop computer, you just simply grab a new graphics card, slot it in, and you're away. And then for our final disadvantage, it's all about screens and displays, because for most people, the screen that is in your laptop is the screen that will stay there for forever, I guess, and it's never going to change. Which means that if you get one and you're not really a fan of it, and it's a TN panel or it's just not great, then you're stuck with it. And I know some people will say you can just find a new one, you can do it very easily on eBay, but realistically the choice is still significantly reduced compared to the desktop side of things, where if you want a FreeSync display, G-Sync display, ultra-wide, high refresh rate, high resolution, it doesn't matter, different size. On the laptop you're severely more limited, and if you don't get the right thing in the first place, I assure you it is going to cause you some headaches a little bit later. So if you do go for a laptop, make sure you buy one with the screen that you're actually happy with at the time of purchase. So that's pretty much the advantages and disadvantages of laptops. And I think the thing really is all about my 2 cents really, and what I have to recommend to anyone that is watching this video and is honestly thinking, do I get a laptop, do I get a desktop, what's the right choice, I think I want this, I think I want that. Here's the thing, because I said this 3.5 years ago and fundamentally it has not changed at all. If you're looking at buying a laptop, you have one question to ask yourself, and that is, do I need portability? Not do I want portability, not I might need portability someday, it would be quite nice to maybe take it downstairs every week. If you know you're going to use this and take it from place to place on a semi-regular basis, or say you go, I don't know, to a holiday shack every Christmas and you want something you can take with you, then that's fine. Look at a laptop, because that's the point. Whereas I think a lot of people end up buying a laptop because they're not really sure, and it just sits on your desk and it never moves, and it's just more hassle. I assure you, if you buy a desktop computer, it can cost you a lot less. You can have complete control over the hardware, any screen you like, any keyboard you like, and it's just a lot easier, I find, to have that on your desk or underneath your desk and everything set up properly, versus a laptop that you end up sort of having just because you thought you wanted it. So that's what I've got to say. I hope it's helped you if you are sort of thinking about getting a laptop, but let me know in the comment section below. Do you have a laptop? Do you recommend them? Or do you swear by desktops? Let me know, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts, as will I'm sure everyone else. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next video. If you need portability, and I mean if you need portability, not sort of think, oh Christ's sake man, honestly it's so frustrating. I don't want to send fucking messages. It happens all the bloody time now.